Chapter 1. Summer's POV. He has me bent over the bed while he shoves his cock into me over and over again. He reached around, grabbing one of my breasts, but that changed the tempo of his rhythm. No. I yelled at him. Just fuck me. He lets go and his tempo is fast and furious. I feel my orgasm building as he thrusts in and out of me. My throat is dry from all the moaning I am doing. I don't give a crap about him, it's only my release I am interested in. I feel my orgasm building and I start moaning as my orgasm building by the second. I hear Zane making similar sounds when he grabs my butt roughly, shaking, shouting at the goddess as he fills me with his seed. I wait until he slips out of me before I collapse on the bed, panting. He joins me on the bed, breathless, giving me a post-sex kiss. I guess we both have some built-up sexual frustrations. We both laugh as our breathing stabilizes. He asked me if that was as good for me as it was for him. I can't lie, never would. I roll on top of him, leaning forward. It was pretty darn good, but it would have been better if your brother had been here as well. Zane is a twin and the pair of them together give me orgasms to no end. But Blake won't be home for a week, and I need to be back at medical school in a few days. But I suppose if we had twice as much sex, I think I might be singing a different tune. He gives a dirty smile before slipping his cock into me repeatedly, giving me orgasm after orgasm throughout the night. I am not sure I will be able to walk by the time morning comes, never mind fight. But it is so worth it. My name is Summer Blackwood. I am the 22-year-old youngest daughter of the Gamma of the Forest Green Pack. When I was growing up, I was trained hard by my dad. He didn't want any of his kids to appear weak, especially the girls. Fighting came easily for me. I had fighting skills others could only dream of. But my heart led me to medicine. I wanted to heal. Both Dad and Alpha-Stan agreed to fund my medical training in the human world if I agreed to have strong surgical and obstetric elements within my training and that I was to work in the pack hospital after I graduated. Alpha-Stan explained that our wolves usually healed our bodies, so we didn't need many pack doctors. But it was during pregnancy or those that were wolfless, a doctor was an asset to a pack, and I would be the only female doctor in the country and how the pack would benefit from my skills. He carried on by telling me that the only male doctor in the pack was sick of being attacked by dominant males, while their mates were pregnant or in labor and had threatened to quit recently due to being physically injured, again. Of course, the answer was yes. It was hard studying the additional courses and all the extra time in the operating theaters and clinics. But I was committed to helping my pack. I didn't socialize whilst I was at medical school. There was no point. I wouldn't reap any rewards from it as I never planned on keeping in touch with anyone afterwards. I worked in the hospital for extra credit, and I studied. I had goals and aspirations. I was expected to do well. During school breaks, I had to return home and train with the other warriors. It was challenging to do everything, but I was young, I was a wolf and I was the daughter of Gamma Davis. I had the backing of my alpha, I wouldn't let any of them down. The school terms were hard mentally, my brain was overworked nearly all of the time. But physically, me and my wolf Alexis were so restless and frustrated, we weren't challenged enough. We would do anything to run and fight as much as possible while we were home. In fact, I was more physically exhausted returning to school than when we left. The other thing I did plenty of while I was home was enjoy lots of sex. Long ago, the previous alpha declared that pent-up sexual frustrations cause distractions for wolves. Especially when warriors are training, as they would be scantily dressed, sweaty and getting up close and personal. Apparently, you could cut the sexual tension with a knife. He declared that if a wolf had not met its mate by the age of 21, they could have sexual relations with others, or could take a chosen mate. A pregnancy is highly unlikely without the mate bond, so no one is worried about that. But once a mate bond is formed, it is to be cherished as it is a blessing from the goddess. In our pack, the mate bond is sacred. I fully agree with this decision. I used to be so sexually frustrated when I came home, I would have multiple partners, which disgusted my family. They just didn't understand that I wasn't satisfied. Then I started having sex with the alpha's twin sons, and they met my needs several times over. We weren't mates, but they loved the fact I took pleasure from both of them, and I took pleasure from being thoroughly screwed. Chapter 2. Summer's POV. The alarm went off at 6 a.m. I must have gotten at least an hour's worth of sleep. It might have been more if both twins had been here, but I shouldn't complain. Zane was thorough last night. I felt like I was walking like John Wayne when I headed to the shower. I tried not to wake Zane up, as I quickly dashed into the shower. I need to scrub the scent of him off me, otherwise I will smell of sex all day. Which is fine if I am locked up in his bedroom, but not when I am expected to face my family. I slip into a pair of shorts and sports bra before I leave, pulling my hair into a braid down my back. I stop by the kitchen on my way out of the pack house, where Mary shoves some pre-made food and coffee in my direction. I tell her she is my hero right now and that I can't even remember the last time I ate. She just gave me a motherly smile and a kiss on the head. I checked my watch, it was almost 6:27, crap 3 minutes to get there. I am positive I can do it. I shove one last slice of toast into my mouth as I am running to the training field. I made it with a few seconds to spare, which earns me a victory dance. I saw my siblings and ran over to where they were. I am so happy to see them. I often spar with other warriors, but often, they are worried about hurting me. I think it is because I am sleeping with the alpha's sons. I think they go quite gentle during training, but it's not what I need. In a true battle, my enemies wouldn't go easy on me. There is also nothing like fighting your siblings though. There are no rules, they don't hold back. We know each other's weaknesses. They never take it easy on me regardless, and they wouldn't want to lose to their little sister. It wouldn't benefit me in a true fight if they acted like others do. Often it is a challenging fight. Taking part is hard work and we often end up with an audience. Someone once took bets. My odds were never great, as I have never actually beaten any of them, but one day I will. I slammed my shoulder into my oldest brother as I walked past. He is the most protective of me. I am the baby of the family after all. He grabs me, pulling me into a hug, but as he is so much taller than me, he lifts my feet off the floor. He has a huge grin on his face as he lets me go. Is it your turn to beat us, Summer? He asks. Not sure, Rain, but I will give it my best shot. We smile at each other, while my other siblings hug me. My sister Autumn reminds us why we are there, and we get started. It's good to be home. Here in Forest Green Pack, I am Summer, who has a loving family and is doted on, intelligent, strong and fearless. At medical school I am Summer, the loner who studies, does extra shifts at the hospital and does not attend any of the parties. There is no point making friends as I won't be keeping up any friendships after I graduate. It's like I temporarily live in another world. We take our positions, Mom and Dad both watching from the sidelines. It's the first time I have seen them since I have been home. I give them a little wave acknowledging their presence. The fight starts and carries on, each of us having our own unique fighting skills. Eventually, Autumn needs to pee, so she steps out. It's just me and my two brothers now. While they are fighting, I sneak behind Gale and take his knees out from behind him. Rain gives him a hit, which knocks the wind off him. He bows out. That's cheating. He yells. Angry that he has just lost. No, that's teamwork. Wolves often fight together. Rain says while laughing at him. That leaves just me and Rain now. Rain is strong and bulky, whereas I am small and nimble. He runs towards me, and I slide underneath his arm as he tries to grab me. I jumped on his back, wrapping my legs around his waist. I put my arm around his neck in a choke hold. I can barely reach around his neck, but that doesn't stop me from trying. He falls on his back, which means he lands right on top of me, crushing me between the floor and his body. I tap out as I am struggling to breathe, and I am sure he just cracked one of my ribs. He gets up off me, reaching down, pulling me up. Today is not your lucky day, sis. Maybe next time. I grasp my knees as I try to take deep breaths. He is such a big lad, I shouldn't try that maneuver again, I mentally told myself. When I straighten up, Autumn pulls me in for a hug. When she lets go, Gail is right there getting one too. It's a little painful but worth it. Alexis will sort out any injuries I have. I love my family. I look around and there are people watching our interactions. I was always curious as to why people looked at us strangely, but then again, I never saw any other family training together. They usually avoided their families during training. But not us, we make each other stronger. That is what Dad always wanted, and it worked. We all agreed to meet at Mom and Dad's house for dinner later, seeing that we were going to go for a family run. Our wolves are as close as we are and love the opportunity to spend some time with their siblings. We all walk to the woods, strip and shift into our wolves. Alexis is a beautiful wolf with white fur over most of her body but with a black patch on her chest and paws. She is also quite large for a female wolf, but I put that down to Dad's gamma genes. Everyone tells me how unique she is. My usual response is that we are both unique while thanking them for their compliment. We ran for hours before settling down near a stream, where we all played in the water, fought and best of all, just relaxed together. No way could we do this as humans. We all have too much responsibility. We get back to the edge of the forest, just before it starts getting dark as we all shift and get dressed. I jumped on Gail's back for a ride. They are all much bigger than me, but the lads are strong and can easily carry me just like they did when we were kids. We laugh and joke all the way to Mom and Dad's, where we are sent upstairs to get cleaned up. I am dressed in a shirt and trousers that I found in my old bedroom. It's great being back home, even if I am not staying here tonight. The food Mom has cooked is fabulous. I eat nothing but crap when I am at school. Rain tells me that his application to join the Royal Guard has been accepted and he will be leaving soon. Autumn lets me know she is now doing the pack accounting and taking up some of Dad's gamma duties as he starts to retire, reminding me that Zane and Blake will be taking over as alphas next year and they will have their own gamma. Gale has just taken over as head warrior for the pack. He has a grin from ear to ear. What an exciting opportunity for him. Then there is me, who is taking my final exams in a few months. That doctor's title is practically within my reach. I don't exactly fit in with the pack life right now as I have chosen a career which requires training from humans. But also, wolves do not need doctors or surgeons for minor scrimps and scraps, as they tend to heal themselves. So right now, my chosen career is the least impressive of us all, but it is my dream and I have been allowed to follow it. Mom and Dad give a big speech about how proud they are of all of us and what amazing children we have been. He closes with, "Don't forget, if you remain unmated by the blue moon next year, you will be expected to attend the representatives' meeting." Autumn scoffs. "You mean the cattle market?" Dad scowls at her, before reminding her that she is the daughter of Gamma. It is her duty to represent him. I had never been to the representatives' meeting during the blue moon. The first time I was at school and had exams, Alpha understood, but this time I would be expected to go. From what I have been told, our wolves are dormant for a few days leading up to the blue moon. So, we can mingle and enjoy our human selves, make friends, network and have a good time. But only the unmated children of senior pack members are invited. On the morning after the blue moon, our wolves return, as do any shows of dominance, rivalries and potential mate bonds. Autumn and I used to make fun of the representatives' meetings as we compared it to a cattle market when the prize cow is brought in for auction. The prettier girls tended to get the most attention and form the most alliances, even though they may have the brain span of a gnat. But hey, if you look the part, why not? As we all said our goodbyes, I headed to the pack house. I could do with a little help relieving myself, and I know a certain someone who is more than happy to help me. Chapter 3. Summer's POV. As I walk into his bedroom, I am slammed against the bedroom door, and my hands are pinned above my head by one of his large hands. His mouth is on mine, and he is kissing me like he has never kissed a woman before. The other hand has skirted over my breasts and is working his way up my top, grabbing my breasts, playing with my nipples. I moan with pleasure, it feels so good. He releases my hand and rips open my shirt, buttons flying across the room. I don't even know or care what has happened to my bra as he is fondling both my breasts while kissing me. I grab his hair and pull his mouth closer to mine, he tastes so good. Like a meal I can't get enough of. He drops to his knees, my hand still in his hair, and puts one of my breasts in his mouth, sucking and licking my nipple, taking each breast in turn. I feel him pulling my trousers down as he is working his magic on my breasts. He pulls his mouth away from my breasts, replacing them with his hands as he kisses his way down my abdomen towards my clit. I lift one leg over his shoulder, and he starts licking me and sucking my most sensitive area. I lean my head back against the soundproof door as he fucks me with his tongue. I start yelling out his name as I orgasm, licking up my juices. Apparently, that was my punishment for leaving this morning without saying goodbye. If that is my punishment, I should do it more often, I think to myself. But I couldn't let him go unpleasured. I pulled him to his feet, kissing him on the way. Unbuckling his belt, letting his trousers fall around his ankles, I reach down and find his cock easily, he is already hard. I drop to my knees and put it in my mouth. He grabs my hair and starts guiding me as to how far and fast he wants me to go while sucking his cock. I know he is close when he is yelling at the goddess. I swallow everything he has to give me, it would be rude not to. I got up off my knees and kissed him. Do you want a few minutes before starting the main course now that we have had our starters? I asked him, already knowing the answer. He wanted my body as much as I wanted his. Alexis doesn't agree with what I do sexually, she wants to wait for her mate and goes to sleep. While I satisfy my needs? She doesn't fight me. I am young, and I have needs to be met, but when we meet our mate, she gets to have her fun time. This is the agreement we made. He pins me to the bed, lifting one of my legs over his shoulder, plunging his cock into me. Slowly at first, then faster, this position isn't working for me as I am already so wet with arousal. I pushed him off me and climbed on top of him. That's better and deeper. He fondles my breast as I ride him. I like it when my body gets stimulated. As he plays with my nipples as I bounce on his cock, I can feel orgasms building, I groan, and he carries on. It's not long before I am spasming on top of him and he is releasing his seed into me. I collapse on top of him, while my buzz wears off, he wraps his arms around me, probably waiting for the next round. The good thing about having alpha blood in him is that he is strong inside and out and he will be ready to go again soon. I want to say he is exhausting, but I need to get my fill while I can. I will be away for several months this time. I climb off him as I need a shower. Before we start again, I tell him that we would also benefit from some drinks to replenish those lost fluids and the ones we are about to lose. He gives me a dirty smirk. It's going to be another long night and I love it. I step into the shower, feeling the hot water running down my body. I hear the shower door opening and Zane steps in, offering to help clean me. I giggle at his offer as he grabs a loofah and some body wash. He stands behind me and starts washing my neck, kissing it afterwards. Moving the loofah down to my breasts, cleaning them thoroughly, then he teasingly moves it down towards my vagina, getting into every fold. I know what you're doing, I told him. He stays quiet while he continues to kiss me. He drops the loofah, stroking my clit with his long fingers, dipping them in and out of me occasionally. I reach behind me, grabbing his hair as I orgasm again. So much for getting cleaned up, I need a shower after my shower. After finishing my orgasm, he spins me around, picking me up. I wrap my legs around him as he pins me to the wall, sliding his cock into me. He does this until he reaches his climax and then lets me go. I whimpered as I was nearly there myself, but we only did this for our personal pleasure, and he got his. But I will get mine, again. The night is still young, I will get as many orgasms out of this night as I possibly can. I have a busy few months ahead and I don't need any distractions. Of course, Zane was happy to oblige. Chapter 4. Summer's POV. I wake up and am sticky with sweat, fighting a sheet that has managed to wrap itself around me. I only have a few more days here in the pack before I have to go back to school for my final semester. I look over and see a sleeping Zane. Do I sneak out again? Of course, I do. I enjoyed my punishment. I managed to get showered, dressed and brush my hair and teeth. Without him even stirring. He must be exhausted. It's like a case of déjà vu as I shower and run downstairs for breakfast. Mary feeds me, again telling me that I should slow down. I laugh. I will slow down when I get old, like 40 or something. That earns me a smack around the head. I am guessing because she is over 40. But she is laughing. I thought the same when I was your age, but I blinked and am nearly 50. After training today, I wanted to have a wander over to the hospital. I should hopefully be working there in a few months and wanted to introduce myself to the staff, meet the current doctor. I am greeted and made to feel welcome. I am shown around. Dr. Perry is so happy I will be joining him. He tells me the only reason he has stuck out the job this far is because Alpha Stan has told him that someone is in training to join him. He is sick of his job and can't wait to share the responsibility. As I was leaving the hospital, I saw a fleet of cars passing the training ground. I also recognize Blake's car amongst them. He must be home early for some reason. Hopefully, the reason is my pleasure, but I doubt it. He went with Alpha Stan to discuss some alliances around the country. So, he shouldn't be back. I will have to wait until later to find out, if I find out. I have a run to go on with the border patrol. It's after 2 p.m. before I turn up at the pack house for lunch, but the house is alive with excitement. Someone has come back with Blake. But no one knows who. I hate gossip, it's just people's opinions really, so until someone officially tells me something, I am going to go about my business as usual. I make my way to the kitchen and people are staring at me. But I ignore them. It's when I get to the kitchen and Mary comes up and gives me a hug that I start getting worried. I just came for the food. I tell her. Luna Susan walks into the kitchen and sees me. She had a worried look on her face. I have no idea what is going on. But Mary passes me a beef sandwich, which I start devouring. Luna Susan tells me that while Blake was away, he met his mate. An alpha's daughter, from a pack he was visiting. She is from the Blood Moon Pack. I only know the rumors of the Blood Moon Pack. They are supposed to be vengeful and merciless. Their wolves are taught to fight ferociously and are unforgiving. They do not care who they kill as long as they kill. They are practically rogues, but part of a pack. But they could just be rumors, and I hate rumors. I nearly choked on my sandwich and Mary handed me a drink. Both her and Luna Susan looked worried. When I got my composure, I turned to Mary requesting she get my things out of Zane's bedroom as soon as possible. I ran over to the Luna Susan and started jumping around like an idiot, telling her I was so happy for them both and that they had finally found their soul mate and how excited I was for them. The look on her face was priceless. I think she was expecting me to be upset, put up a fight or make a declaration of undying love. I just told her that the mate bond is sacred and I hold that value above anything else. Me and her boys were just messing around, getting rid of any urges we may have had, but now they have their mate. I am more than happy for them and will stand aside gracefully. Followed by, oh my gosh, she may have grand babies now. I am so happy for them and her. Her smile practically lit up the room. She hugged me again, thanking me for being so positive about their future relationship. I just thought how I could not be. The goddess made her for them. They are so lucky to have found her. I was still hugging Luna Susan as Mary came back with my stuff. It didn't take long, there was only one case after all. Luna, please let them know I am so happy for them both, for them all. I grab my case and leave. I spent the next few days at my parents' house, training hard and running further. I had a bit more energy than I had during my first few days in the pack. I was hoping the boys were using their energy to please their new mate. I couldn't help but smile at my dirty thoughts. Sunday came around quickly, and I found myself saying goodbye to everyone before going back to school. My final exams aren't far away, and when I return, I will be heading to the representatives meeting with my brother and sister. It will be like a family trip, without parents. How much trouble could I get into with my siblings around me? As I returned to school, I started preparing for my last semester. It was going to be my toughest yet. But I can do it. I get to go home permanently afterward, my future awaits. Chapter 5. Summer's POV. It's been 4 months since I have been home and am so relieved after I took my final exam last week. I agreed to meet Autumn at the representatives meeting as it was on my way home. My brothers can't attend this year. Rain has taken up his new post as part of the Royal Guard and Gale has been told he has to work. He has become one of the new head warrior trainers. I have sent most of my belongings home already and just have one suitcase left with my essentials in it. Autumn is bringing my evening wear with her as well as anything else I need for the representatives meeting. Autumn is less than impressed at having to go. She has been working non-stop since taking over the pack's accounting. She tells me it's a mess. Dad is a better fighter than accountant. The blue moon only happens every 2-3 years and leading up to it, our wolves go dormant. We are practically human. It's weird being without Alexis, but I know it is only for a few days and people here can get to know Summer. I am not sure what to expect as Alexis is a big part of my life, but we are all in the same position at the representatives meeting. I messaged Autumn as I checked into my hotel room. We're not sharing. Autumn and I are hoping for a hookup and we do not need to walk in on each other during that. Alpha Stan foots the bill for the rooms as we are representing his pack. As per usual, the rooms are booked in our first name, with the surname Green. I meet up with her when she arrives, getting my suitcases out of her car. We also arrange to meet in the bar for a few drinks and she can tell me all about what is going on back home. With our wolves being dormant, we can also get drunk easily, so it should be a long overdue sisters' night. We sit in a booth with a bottle of wine when Autumn starts, telling me that there is political trouble back in the pack and Dad is stressed out over it. Alpha Stan wants to step down, but he won't do it until things are settled between Zane, Blake and Carly, their mate. Autumn explains. Basically, Carly doesn't want two mates and she won't spend any time with them, together. They can only date her or sleep with her one at a time. I gasped. Basically, she doesn't want one of them to exist? But she is their soul mate and together they are hers. That is ridiculous. I told Autumn. She is sipping her wine and nodding with a disgusted look on her face. A couple of guys came over to the table offering to join us. But as we are having a girly catch-up, we tell them politely to come back later. We should be there most of the night. Autumn carried on. Carly also doesn't like any of the pack rules, mainly because they are different to her old pack rules, and that she is trying to force her rules into our pack. The twins must be beside themselves. The mate bond is sacred, and to reject one of them, it would tear them apart. We all respect the mate bond and would never try and interfere with the goddess's decisions. But for her to try and make her new pack the same as her old pack, it's no wonder Alpha Stan doesn't want to step down. Autumn nods again while taking another sip of wine. Which is making him grumpy and mad as he wants to retire. Luna Susan wants to retire, Dad wants to retire. But none of them feel like they can, without putting the pack in jeopardy. Sounds like crap is hitting the fan back home. I said before we both started laughing. The night went on and I had a great time drinking with my sister. Guys frequently approach us. But we just want some sister time. One guy offers to join us during our special sister time, which we assume is a sexual innuendo, but that isn't either of our thing. He looks offended when we tell him to leave, in a not-so-polite manner. We headed to one of the main rooms where there would be talks and stuff going on the next day. It is just a big social gathering really. They have food, though, and I am starving and tipsy. Which is unusual for wolves as normally we can't get drunk, but I suppose we are wolf-less at the moment. Once I had my fill, I apologized to Autumn and headed to my room. It had been a long day and I needed sleep. The next morning, as I headed to breakfast with a clear head, I started being friendly and socializing. I am among my own kind after all, and with some of the pack rivalry out of the way. It may be nice to meet some new friends. Throughout the day, I go to some of the talks, chat to people, flirt a little. But I never see Autumn anywhere. I have messaged her, but never got a response. As I eat my evening meal, she finally gets in touch via text. Sorry sis, met the man of my dreams and he isn't leaving my bed until I am satisfied. You go girl, is all I can think of, but I sent her a laughing emoji. As she will not be joining me, I think I will go for a shower and get changed, freshen up in case of a hookup myself. I could do with some bedroom athletics right now. Chapter 6. I waited for the elevator to go to my room. Once it arrives, there is a crowd of people getting out, they all rush past me and I walk in. I find it strange though that one of the men who has just gotten out turns around and walks back in. He is wearing a black suit, kind of formal for this time of day, I think to myself, but he wears it well. He must be one of the sexiest men I have seen here, by far. In fact, he is probably one of the sexiest men I have ever seen in my life. Around 6'4", tanned, short dark hair, blue eyes. His eyes are just focused on me as he heads in my direction. He walks straight back into the elevator, pushing the door close button. 2 more steps and he has a clump of my hair in his hand, tilting my head to the side, sniffing my neck. Then he starts kissing it. I want to shout or scream at him, but his kisses are tingly, rough, but soft. The only thing out of my mouth is a moan as I am enjoying it so much. I don't know what to say or do. I like it though. He carries on kissing my neck, making his way up to my lips. I grabbed his hair and bring him closer to me. I just want to be closer to him. This is so erotic and I love it. The elevator doors started to open, as he only pressed the close button. He breaks away from me as people start piling in, pressing buttons to floors where they want to go. That was intense. I am glad people walked in. I may have just let him fuck me right here. He maneuvers himself into a corner behind me, sniffing my hair while we go from floor to floor. I can feel his erection sticking into my back as he carries on sniffing me. I know exactly what his intentions were at that moment, and I am ready for it. I can feel myself getting aroused the longer we are in the elevator. I thought our wolves were dormant, but he is acting as if he isn't. As the last person gets out of the elevator, he rushes over and presses the penthouse button before coming back to me, pressing me into the corner. He grabs my butt, lifting me onto the handrails, and I wrap my legs around his waist, kissing him. It's like I can't get close enough to the guy, he groans. What am I doing? I am acting like a horny teenager, but I can't stop. The elevator pings and he carries me out easily, never breaking our kiss. He walks with me wrapped around his body. I have never felt so weightless. It feels like forever before we are in a bedroom. I haven't even said one word to the guy, and I am in his bedroom. This is a record, even for me. He drops me and spins me around in front of a full-length mirror, pulling my dress over my head, leaving me in my bra and panties. He starts kissing my neck from behind. Using his left hand, he fondles my breasts, and his right hand goes straight for my clit, stimulating the sensitive parts of my body. He is watching me in the mirror, enjoying my reaction to his touch. It is so kinky, and I am so turned on. I feel an orgasm starting, but I know I need him in me to make me fully orgasm. I spun around so I faced him, touching him, kissing him. I yank off his jacket and unbutton his shirt, slowly, his breathing becoming heavier by the second. I slowly undone his belt, button, and zipper, making his pants fall, releasing his huge erection. I dropped to my knees. Now he is facing the mirror. I shoved his cock in my mouth, bobbing backwards and forwards, taking him all the way in. He's a big man and I can just about handle him. He grabs my hair again, guiding me to the depth he likes. He starts to spasm and grabs my hair tighter. I only have to wait seconds before he fills my mouth full of his juices. When he does, I take every drop and lick the head of his cock afterwards, for any extra. He bends down, kissing me. 1-0 for me. I tell him. He seems to know what I mean. He obviously likes the challenge as he suddenly flips me over onto all fours and starts fucking me. I see everything in the mirror. I am watching him fuck me. He feels good, he looks good, he makes me feel good. I am moaning and he grabs my hips, making his cock go deeper into me. My orgasm comes out of nowhere and I start screaming as it rips through my body. He starts yelling as he fills with his seed as he orgasms for a second time. When he's finished, he whispers in my ear. 2-1, but I won't be beaten. He flips me over and starts to fuck me. After that, I fucked him. Goddess, this man is like sex on legs. Before I close my eyes after yet another orgasm, he tells me, while he is panting. 6-6. I want to retort with a snappy comment, but my body feels like it had just ran a marathon. I smiled to myself as I closed my eyes for a second. I didn't want to be beaten by him. When I open them, he is asleep next to me. When did that happen? I must have fallen asleep too. I don't even know what time it is, or how long we have been asleep, but I do know I need a drink. Chapter 7. Summer's POV. I wrapped a sheet around myself. I am not ashamed of my body, but I don't know who is out there. In fact, I don't know the man in here either. But he is hot as hell and knows his way around my body. He was still sleeping as I walked out of the room. It takes everything in my power not to swat his firm butt. But I so need that drink. I walked to the kitchen area, finding a glass on the side. I rinse it out and pour myself a glass of water as I am taking a big drink. I heard the elevator ping from behind me. I just carried on drinking. I heard footsteps approaching. No one actually knows where I am right now, but I guess that is what happens when you have a random, sudden hookup. I lowered my glass, glancing over my shoulder to see a man staring at me. His jaw is open, and his fists are clenched. I spin all the way around holding onto my sheet. I smiled at him. "Hi," I say. He doesn't say anything, he just stares at me. I must have taken a long blink. For 1 second, he is in the doorway, and the next he is stood in front of me gripping my hair, pulling my head backwards, kissing me. He is as sexy as the other guy. My hands instinctively grab his shirt, undoing his buttons, when the sheet wrapped around me falls down. He smirks as I stand there naked in the kitchen area. I don't care though. I started undoing his belt and trouser button. He lets his trousers fall, not breaking the kiss. He lifts me onto the kitchen counter and I wrap my legs around him. He presses his cock to my entrance. I am already wet with arousal. I slid forward a little to just sit on the counter, giving him full access to me. He slips his cock into my entrance, slowing, at first being gentle. Then he starts going deeper until he is before picking up his speed. Thrusting in and out of me with a degree of urgency. As my orgasm is coming, I lean back and start moaning. As I am climaxing, yelling my head off, I feel him fill me. Grabbing my hips to steady himself, he leans forward, kissing my lips, then my nose and my forehead before bringing my head to his chest. I don't know who is more breathless, him or me. He removes himself from my body and I miss the closeness of his chest as I lower my legs and he helps me off the counter, sliding down his body. I heard a voice and looked in the direction of the bedroom. I see you have met my guest, brother? He says with a smirk and they both look at me. Hi. Is all I can say, with a half smile. Then I looked at Mystery Man 1 and then the other Mystery Man, they're twins. No wonder I think they're both sexy, they are identical. But I am not fazed by that. In fact, the sex felt so good independently. I can only hope it's as good if I get to try them out together. I smiled, looking at my mystery men. Grabbing the hand of the man I had just had sex with in the kitchen, dragging him towards the bedroom, he eagerly followed me. He trips over his trousers, which are still around his ankles, but he quickly kicks them off, regaining his composure. I am still dragging him when we pass his twin, who closes the door behind us all, making his way to the bed where he joins us. They both start touching my body, feeling me caressing me, sending my senses into overdrive. I am so overstimulated I feel like I am about to explode. I am practically gagging for the pair of them to fuck me when I am thrown on the bed, positioned with my head overhanging. One of them puts his cock in me and thrusting, the other hovers about my mouth until I allow him entrance. Which I am more than happy to do. I don't know how long in that position before I am flipped over and the men swap places. Now I am being fucked on all fours and sucking the other's cock. I release him from my mouth, and he lies on the bed. I climb on top of him, rocking my hips. The sounds he is making me feel like the sexiest woman in the world. Then I was pulled forwards and felt a cock at my ass. I lean further forward as he slips it into me. I yelp as he is a big man. I looked over my shoulder and smiled. He knows I want him to do it and I have just given him consent. I stay still while he enters me, then the motion starts from the pair of them, each one taking their turn thrusting in and out of me, someone grabbing my breasts. My orgasm hits me like a freight train and practically rips me in half. I start screaming, but I am not the only one. My mystery men are thanking the goddess as well. I collapse as I ride out my orgasm. That was amazing. I have never felt anything like it. But I intend to feel that way again, even if it is only for tonight. Chapter 8. Summer's POV. By morning, I felt thoroughly fucked and I may need a vagina transplant, especially as they both fucked me in it at the same time. I had never gone that far before, but it felt right and amazing at the time. I was sticky though, a combination of my sweat, their sweat and both of our juices. But I felt disgusting, for the right reasons though. My body ached, all of it, even my hair ached. This will be a night to remember for a very long time. I look to my left and see a sexy as hell hunky man, with dark hair, tanned skin and muscles everywhere. When I look to my right, I see his twin who is just as sexy, but with a small scar above his eyebrow, probably unnoticeable if I hadn't have been that close. But I do need to get out of here. I weighed up my options. I can climb over one of them, which will probably wake them up, or I can shimmy down the bed. I should get out quickly and quietly, but that has never been my style. I can be a little dramatic at times. I sit up and shake my head, kicking the covers off me, which is also covering them. They both stir, I lean over one of them and jump out of the bed, grabbing the clothes I can find off the floor. My bra and panties have been ripped to shreds, so I bin them straight away. They're both awake, watching me when one of them asks where I am going. My response is very casual. To my room, I have to get ready for the day. Where do they think I am going? Before pulling my dress over my head. They both looked at each other, then at me, inviting me to stay in bed with them. Because I have things to do, places to go, and people to meet. But my response was, best offer I have had today, guys. But I have to meet my sister and the point of being here is to mingle, while our wolves are dormant. Besides that, they have a guest speaker, and I don't even know who it is yet. I finally found my purse, walked over to each of them and gave them a kiss each. Thanks for last night. It was fun. We should do it again sometime. I think they are going to try and stop me from leaving, but they don't. I made it back to my room, before my legs turned to jelly. Collapsing onto my bed, it felt empty after sleeping with them last night. I am in desperate need of a shower, but I checked my phone beforehand, 33 missed calls and 13 messages, mainly from Gail and Autumn. Autumn has already left and is on her way home. I listened to the voicemails while reading the messages, major trouble back home. I run a shower while I pack. I can't go anywhere smelling like I do. But I need to get home as soon as I can. What could be going on? Nathan's POV. What a mind-blowing night that was. I didn't even catch her name. She didn't even ask for ours or even recognize that we were the Wolf Kings. Or if she did, she didn't care. She smelled so good, I couldn't get enough of her scent, especially in the elevator. I bet my wolf would have gone mad if he hadn't have been dormant. But my senses are heightened anyway, as I am royalty. Then the sex was amazing. But when she offered to have sex with me and Dawson, the sex was out of this world. If sex with our maid is better than that, I can't wait to meet her. She woke us both up when she was looking for her clothes. There wouldn't have been much left of them after I ripped them off her last night and I asked her to stay. She said she had to meet her sister and Dawson mind-linked me, telling me to let her go. We would see her during the speech we were to give in a few hours. If we make her stay, she would be less willing to come back with us tonight and we both wanted that experience again. So, we let her go. We both laid back on the bed after she left, discussing what happened. We both knew our wolves were dormant, but our instincts took over and we both took her, wanted her, needed her, and she was amazing. She accepted both of us willingly, easily, eagerly. She is unique. Nearing the time to give our keynote speech to all the pack representatives, Dawson gave the speech and I went on the hunt for her. I was, of course, in disguise. Most people don't even know we are twins as we are rarely seen together. But I couldn't find her, I couldn't smell her, she wasn't there. Where was she, where had she gone? Adam, our beta, found me, I hadn't seen him since yesterday. He texted us telling us he had met someone and would catch us later. Dawson caught up with us and we explained about our mystery woman. I was going out of my mind. Where had she disappeared to? Adam explained that his hookup had to leave for some pack business. Maybe ours had done the same. He stomped off to reception and insisted they give him the names and keys of anyone that had left that day. Keys and names were exchanged, and we went room hunting. There weren't many, but when we entered room 306, we knew that it was her room, her scent was everywhere. The name on the room was Summer Green. Adam chuckled as the name on his hookups tag was Autumn Green. She did say she had to meet her sister. Adam did say Autumn had to leave on pack business. Maybe she left with her. But those names sound made up, they had to be. Sisters named Autumn and Summer Green. We also had no clue as to which pack they belonged to. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Chapter 9. Summer's POV. I pull up to my mom and dad's house, but it's quiet, the whole street is quiet, it's like a scene from a horror movie quiet. I read a text from Autumn. We are at the pack house, get here. I drive as fast as I can when I pull up behind a crowd. Something serious is going on. I got out and started pushing my way through the crowd. On the stage is Carly, with Zane and Blake behind her. She is challenging Alpha Stan as to why he won't hand over the pack to Zane and Blake. Alpha Stan and Luna Susan look as dignified as always. Telling her that this decision is not hers or the twins to make, it is his. She was throwing a tantrum right there on the stage. If she does and attacks Alpha Stan, it will be an act of attempted murder and her punishment is banishment. I doubt she is that stupid, she knows the law. She is an Alpha's daughter, maybe she should act like one. She is angry though, yelling that in her old pack things would be done like this and like that, this pack is weak, pathetic and backwards. To which Alpha Stan's response is, well, Carly, if you wish to run things like your old pack, maybe you should go back there. He would regret it if his sons left with her. But she needed to be put in her place. I eventually found my family and joined them. Who the hell does she think she is? I heard my mom say. Looking at the twins, the lads looked broken, like shells of who they truly are. She is going to ruin them. She is yelling at Alpha Stan that she is the future Luna, and she wants changes now, before she comes into position. He retaliates by telling her she will never get that position if her attitude doesn't change. The yelling continues, I whisper in my mom's ear. She just wants the power and authority, doesn't she? Mom nods. I look at the stage, that power-driven woman will drive the pack into the ground, she will drive the twins into the ground. They deserve happiness and joy, they are an amazing, loyal pair of men. What is the goddess playing at? She starts staring at me. I had never met her before and she was pointing at me and screaming in my direction. I have never even met her though. Yelling that I am a slut for sleeping with her mates and that I deserve death. Everyone around me gasps, including my family. While I stood there confused and dumbstruck. But I will not be belittled or berated in front of my own family or friends when I have done nothing wrong. I don't care who she is. I walked up to the stage and stood with my Alpha and Luna. Two people who had watched me grow up, supported me, guided me and been there for me. They know I have followed every pack rule and how much I looked up to them and respected them for who they are, not the position they held. They look at me not knowing how I will take these accusations. They know I will not be insulted this way. I nod at them as a mark of respect. You stand there accusing me of sleeping with your mates. May I ask when this was? Yes, I slept with them, before they met their mate. In fact, we are encouraged to rid our bodies of sexual urges, before we meet our fated mate. It makes us calmer. But since they met you, I haven't even been home and would never disrespect Alpha Stan's rules. There were yells and cheers in the crowd. You slept with them, and I am going to have you killed for it. They are mine. She stood there and declared I disrespected the mate bond and now stands there as if she is the goddess herself, arms folded in front of her chest, threatening me in front of everyone. Making herself out to be a superior woman. I think not here, not now, not ever. I walked over to her and looked her in the smug face she was pulling, like she was untouchable. As quick as a flash, I pulled back my fist and punched her straight in the nose. She dropped to the ground with blood pouring from her face. I say loud enough for everyone to hear. One thing I wholeheartedly respect in this world is the mate bond. Our Alpha taught us it is the goddess's blessing. No one in this pack would ever go against the Alpha Stan. I look down at her as she sobs. If you demand my death for following the rules, I suggest you get up and give it to me. If you think any power-hungry fool can command this pack to kill one of their own, you should fuck off back to your old pack. We are more than friends, we are a family. I gripped her collar, pulling my fist back, ready to smack her again. The twins are torn between helping their mate and knowing I am right. But I know in the end the mate bond will win. That's enough, Summer. Alpha says. With that, I dropped her. You deserve better, boys. I walked off the stage. While people are cheering. Hearing her threaten me again through her sobs. I am tempted to go back and give her another smack, but I couldn't give two fucks about her petty threats. I don't condone what I did, but she insulted my Alpha, and she insulted me. He had to act diplomatically as he was her future father-in-law and the pack leader. I don't though, I am a nobody. I know there will be consequences, but I will not have my name dragged through the mud or my reputation tarnished. She should watch who she insults. The only pleasure I took from today is that the blue moon hasn't risen yet and she won't have her wolf to help heal her face. She will need a doctor, or her nose will heal crooked. Once her wolf returns, if she wants it fixed. Her nose rebroken, so her wolf can fix it properly. I doubt she will let that happen. The lads won't let the male doctors near her. Alphas are possessive, especially seen as they will have to hurt her to fix it. That leaves me, the only female doctor for hundreds of miles, and she won't come to me. But I would gladly break her nose again for her. My office Summer. Alpha Stan orders. Behind him I see Luna Susan holding back a smile. I look back at Carly, still kneeling on the floor. The twins are pandering to her, like any mate would. Chapter 10. Summer's POV. I entered Alpha Stan's office accompanied by my dad, Mom, Autumn and Gail. Luna Susan is with him trying to calm him down. He must be mad. He looked at us all as we took a seat on his couch. Summer, I want you to know that I love you like a daughter. You have grown up to be a beautiful, respectful young woman. You respect your family, your pack and me. I nodded at him, not knowing where this was going. I don't know exactly what Carly's agenda is, but she has one. Which is why I am refusing to hand the pack over to the boys. I know exactly why you did what you did, and between us all, I wish I could have done it myself. I feel proud of myself at this point. But I can't help but feel something else is coming. But she's the Alpha's daughter from the Blood Moon pack. They are not a forgiving pack. We are likely to suffer the consequences of your actions if I am not seen to be doing something about it. Luna Susan strokes his head. Right. I say slowly, still not sure where this is going. I have done nothing wrong but stand up for my honor. He looks like he doesn't know where this is going either. She is the future Luna of this pack, and I have to be seen to do something about her being assaulted, regardless of her disgusting behavior. I smirk. Summer, I am going to have to ask you to leave. Mom and Autumn gasp, Dad and Gail jump to their feet in anger. Dad, who has been silent up until now, tells him that if he sends me somewhere the whole family will follow me and that I have done nothing wrong. Alpha Stan agrees with him. Summer has done nothing wrong, which is why he is not banishing me. But Carly is the twins' mate, the future Luna. If she ever gets the Luna title, she will make Summer's life a living hell, then banish me if not kill me. At least this way, Summer can leave with her reputation intact, with good standing, a good reference and most importantly, won't be made a rogue. He also tells Dad that he needs him, as he does not plan on handing the pack over to the twins anytime soon, not with her on the scene, and he will be relying on his support for a while. He needs Autumn to make sure she does not squander the pack's money, as he thinks she will bankrupt the pack in no time. He needs Gail to make sure the pack is defended, as he may be alpha for a while and he isn't getting any younger. Alpha Stan doesn't want her as Luna, and he will do everything in his power to make sure she doesn't get the role. But now more than ever, he needs his inner circle to be strong and united. She is supposed to be here to mother the pack, not control it. He holds Luna Susan's hand while saying this, tears running down her face. Summer, this is for your protection. I believe she would do anything to hurt you, and I love you too much to see you harmed, especially because of her. I am wiping your debts from the pack. I am going to contact several packs that would consider taking you in. I will only contact packs I deem worthy of you. But please know, I do not want anyone to know where you are. If she finds out, I believe she will try and have you harmed. I know what he is saying is true, this is making me like her less and less. I also knew that I was going to be an asset to the pack. A female doctor is a desirable commodity for any pack, and Alpha Stan is not giving me away easily. He will also only recommend packs that he would find suitable. I know everyone in this room will make her life hard work. Goddess help her, she will regret the day she crossed me. Mom asks how long until I have to leave. I turn to Alpha Stan. Can I wait to get my final grades? Let me leave with my graduation certificate and have a little celebration with my family? It should only be a few weeks. He only agrees to this if I appear to be leaving straight away and stay in one of the cabins in the woods. For all intents and purposes, it's like I have left already. Most importantly, I have to keep away from her. Which is fine, I don't think we would hang out at the same places anyway. You know, the training ground, hospital, library. He scoffs, telling me I am right, she is more likely to be in the mall and nail salon. Autumn chimes in. Not if she doesn't have any money, she doesn't, and she hasn't earned a dime, yet. That's my vindictive sister in action right there. Both Luna and Alpha hugged me before I left. Luna Susan tells me that they care deeply for me and that they wish things could be different. I nod and agree. They are also doing this for my best interest and safety. I also think that Carly's face is going to be very crooked for a long time, and I don't regret my actions for 1 second.